Hello guys, this is the Juggernaut, and before I get into today's video, I'd like to talk about a little something why I haven't been posting, at all this week. I haven't been posting recently because I've been on a trip, and I'm going on one very soon, but it's a short one, you probably won't miss it. And I decided instead of posting something that I recorded last week, that I'd post something new that I said I'd do. So today's video, if you haven't read the title, is about stick empires. And it's a, I guess, kind of debate, medusa or marrow. So, the first thing I want to talk about is medusas. And the benefit of a medusa over a marrow is they can pretty much instantly kill a unit. They can get a lot of damage off, and you can hold your ground very well with venom flux. They are slightly more expensive, but by the time you get 400 mana, you should have 500 gold. So the expense isn't really that big of a deal in this situation. So marrows, yay, they're 100 gold cheaper. No one really cares. Medusas are a mid to late game unit, depending on how fast you are with your mana and how much you save. They're very good. However, they are kind of like one usage, and that's kind of where their downfall comes. They don't have good recharge times on their stone, and whereas it might be powerful, if it gets sniped off, it gets sniped off. There are hard counters, though, to Magi Kill. So if your opponent has a Magi Kill on its way, they can one-shot those, and they're very good on those. I said those a lot. They had really good DPS on the giant, so if you want to, snipe off a giant because the order microed the giant back, you can do that. However, during giant play, I feel like marrows are better. So, I mentioned marrows, and, well, what can they do differently? Well, they have a really cheap as 0 mana move known as Reap, and Reap is pretty much a knockoff version of Stone, whereas it does not guarantee you a kill, but if your opponent does not micro, it pretty much means you're going to kill off a weak unit. It has a very short recharge time, meaning it's very worthwhile for an archer, whereas you wouldn't really stone an archer, but if you'd Reap them, you can really chip down their archer count. And another thing they're good for, if you get 2 marrows, you can pretty much just endlessly pull a giant. 3 marrows you can, but if you have 3 marrows in your army, you kind of should have a better army. Their second ability is a lot, I guess, a lot more. It's gotten if you're going marrows, but it's called Money Fist for a reason. Its real name is Hellfist, but it's Money Fist because it's pretty much a waste of money. Unless you really need that line archers to die like that. But it's harder to aim. You have to get up really close in their face. Whereas a Reap outranges an archer. So you can just Reap out archers endlessly. Oh, hello, Faku Fairy. Congratulations, you got into my video. He used to do things for me. So, yeah. Marokai. I actually like Marokai in most situations better, because they can do a lot more on the field, and they are almost never useless, whereas in Medusa, you have to go garrison it up the second it uses all of its spells, because it's going to be a minute before you can use it again. Marrows are almost always deadly, because their Reap just takes 5 seconds and then you have another one. So, I like marrows better, but however, if they have a Medusa, you'd be mad to go a marrow. You'd be a absolute madman, because Medusas one-shot those marrows. Another funny thing is they actually have both decent attacks, but Medusa's attack speed is better, so just in case that one sword comes up to it, the Medusa will deal with that slightly better. I don't know at that point why an Order player would be using one crawler, like one sword, to deal with said spellcaster. But yeah, Medusa also has a better area of effect. So it all depends on the situation, actually. But most situations that you get a Medusa in, you should actually be using a marrow. Giants, marrows work better. Ninjas, you want a marrow. Everything except a magi kill, which marrows can deal with a magi kill. However, how to counter a marrow with a magi kill is use your spell as the reap comes out, because their spell does take a lot longer to come out. That's another thing. Marokai's spells have, like, charge-up times, I guess. Casting time. Medusa's doesn't really have that. I guess that's another benefit from Medusa's, but normally you don't really want the Medusa or Marrow in the front line unless you're going all in with that Medusa and you want to, like, get a hard, like, I don't know, on your opponent, like they weren't paying attention to their archers, and you want to get that cheesy insta-win on them. So, but Marrows can do it at a slightly safer distance. So there's a chance of that Marokai coming back. But yeah, this is Marrows versus Medusas. I hope you've had a good day. You keep playing your games and I'll keep playing mine. And I will have more videos on the way. I'll see you next time. I said that. I think. Bye. Before I mess up again.